Hello, I'm back. It was only a week, but it feels like it was so long since I've last streamed. But I have returned, and everything is new. Thank you. And yes, everything is new. I really wanted to take some time to make a proper layout for everything because, as I was saying on like my social media, I just felt like a lot of what I had was thrown together just because I wanted to start streaming as soon as possible. So it served its purpose, but I wanted to take some time and uh, do stuff with a little bit more effort. So I don't know why, but what was always on my mind was like having something that was brighter, more colorful. So I went with this kind of cloudy rainbow sky theme. And Brie Bear, I wanted her to be a bit brighter colors, so I went with this like lavender. And I gave her a blue hoodie now to match kind of the sky theme. And I don't know if you can see, but the talking now has a whole animation. So my mouth closes and opens while I talk. Just little details to clean everything up. Just 'cause I can. I'll put on some music. But honestly, because during my break, I really didn't draw a lot besides, I really didn't have the chance to, besides, besides the layout. So I want to do Rust a little bit today. I was thinking I could just do some drawing. It's raining today, so if you hear like a beeping at any point, it's my sump pump because it's raining. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you liked the chat. Yeah, I changed it up a bit. I made it bigger, so that it's more readable. And yeah, you guys are on the Rainbow Road now. That's where chat will show up. Eventually, my goal is to put together like a custom overlay for chat too. But until then, we got this, which I think is good for now. But my idea for today, like I said, is to just kind of uh doodle because I didn't know what to do, but I am going to do, I think, sorry, I'm trying to find a playlist. I wasn't quite sure what to do, but I got some like reference images off screen, and I was figuring I could just kind of doodle my OCs or one of my OCs using one of my reference pictures, and then see where we are on time from there, and go from there. I never lately. I've literally quite literally only been listening to the Katamari soundtrack over and over again. So I don't know what I'm feeling for music, but we'll go with this maybe. Oh, it's thundery. Is it thundery out for you too? Hello, tape stopper. Welcome to the stream. There be treasure. Oh, nice. That sounds chill. Chill, rainy day. Welcome to the stream. Okay, let's start drawing. That was gonna be my question. Like, there or my stream? If it's my stream, then success. Man, I gotta do Rust because layouts are so like structural. So it's been a while since I've drawn anything organic. It feels like. And we're gonna keep it really simple. I was thinking just a bust, not like a full body either. Just purely get back into rendering. Yeah, that's the one thing with I feel like a lot of like anything, any hobbies really. You gotta de-rust if you take a break. Because the issue too is honestly, I tried to draw a little bit more like besides that, because like when I was working on so much structural stuff, I often felt like doing more of my usual stuff, but I genuinely couldn't really think of anything to make, which is the worst. And it wasn't quite an art block. I couldn't. I think I was just tired because I also was ended up being pretty busy last week with the holiday and everything. Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I've never been to Texas, but it seems like it's very bright and very hot. Oh yeah, I bet. Oh my gosh. 80, 90 is, oh my goodness. I don't know if I'd make it in Texas. Yeah, I have a friend who's from there too. And I don't know. I don't know how y'all do it. Right? Right. And yeehaw. Yeah, like it wasn't last week. It was like weeks ago now, I think. It was 90 where I'm at in the Midwest. And I was trying to garden and I couldn't do it. It was 90 was way too much for me. I'm glad you're doing better this week. Yeah. I kind of felt very low on the like creativity side. I think there's just a lot going on. And with all the like fireworks too, like my dog is actually really afraid of fireworks. So I spent a lot of the week kind of stressed out a little bit about him because he was just so stressed out by all the fireworks and everything like that. So I think that was also for me personally why it was hard to be creative because I was that stressed and all the busyness and trying to get my layout together. So hopefully though for the rest of uh summer it's all good though. Oh my gosh, right, exactly. Exactly, like I had neighbors who started literally the week before. They did them all the week of the 4th, and then they were still doing it this week. It's just like please, please at some point you must stop. You must stop. Yes, save them. Oh, nice. That's good. Yeah, as I said to you then, like I think it's great that you found like a book that can help you kind of start to understand what's going on and work through it. Aw, yeah. My dog, he's like he doesn't really like loud thunder. He's okay with like regular thunder, but if it gets loud, yeah, he's scared of that too. But fireworks definitely. I always feel so bad because he like will shake and he gets scared and to like move around, which is not good. And this week he's been almost like expecting them to happen. So like he won't go outside at night anymore. Like for right now, because I think he's just like expecting like at night them to happen again. They shoot them in the day. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just think it's too much. Like it's like it's tradition or whatever, but it's just like okay, we can do like a couple. We can do like the day of and be done. We don't need to do them like forever. Exactly. I mean, I just think like if you want something bright in the light, there's gotta at this point with the technology we're at be something that's not so loud. That's not so loud and does not like emit mass tons of air pollution. We've got to have something technologically that we can use that can still make a pretty light show. Indubitably. Exactly, the bat signal. That's all we need. We just need giant spotlights with different like pretty lights. That would actually honestly you could do like a whole light show with that. And it wouldn't be loud. And there wouldn't be like tons of air pollution. Oh, the drones, yeah. That's a good point. Drones could be used. I think some people already are using them. I definitely think that could be an alternative if they wanted to do that. Oh yeah, the ads, no. We already have enough ads like everywhere else at this point. Did you guys hear like some streaming services are like about to get ads? That's so annoying to me. It's like I'm already paying so much just to watch. Why are you making me watch ads now? I mean, that's pretty true. Yeah, when I'm on uh Spotify and YouTube, I usually just find a way to pass the time until they go. The short ads I don't have a problem with, but I have a problem lately. YouTube's been doing that thing where they'll play like two or three longer ads, but they're not skippable. That causes me some pain. Oh my gosh, yeah, like why? Why? Why is it unskippable? Oh, they do? And the funny part is I know the exact commercial you're talking about, but I didn't even realize that. That's so interesting. Well, at least they're having fun. At least they're having fun with the ads. And honestly, I must say, out of all like the ads, uh, I get on like social media, whatever, Spotify is probably the most like catered. Like when I get an ad on Spotify, usually it's for something that I'm at least somewhat like interested. Like it's like, okay, I can see that you guys scrubbed my data a little bit before you gave me this ad. So I respect that at least. That they at least tried to learn about my interests before showing me with the ad. Oh my god. I want that song. Now I want to hear that exact song. Oh no. Your Spotify doesn't know you. Just showing you random stuff. Yeah, like I don't know what it was, but like I would get like video game ads. I get a lot of like college ads. Um sometimes I get like the ones that are harder, like not so much like they're not bad, but like the ads for other music artists to listen to. Those always throw me off just because I always think it's a song that's playing just on my playlist. Then I'm like, wait a minute, I don't know who this is. And then they're like, hey, welcome to Spotify. Like, you're listening to so and so. And I'm like, oh, military. No. And top, oh, no, yeah. Yeah, that always pains me too. Because I get the top hits one too. And yeah, no, I don't really have interest in that either. This angle of this reference that I chose is actually kind of complex, but I'm going to stick with it for practice points. The weirdest thing that happens to me is like, I'll get like ads or sometimes even emails. Like, near the beginning of summer, I was getting emails from this one college to ask me to join their like open house for freshman orientation. And I'm just sitting there like, I'm a senior, so that doesn't apply to me, but thank you. And they were persistent. I was just like, okay, I am not at all the target audience. But you were close. Bro. Oh my god, I like, though there was seriously a time on Spotify where that commercial was playing every 2 seconds. I specifically remember because I was like listening and I was like, what? What the hell? Like, why am I getting this commercial? I remember that too. It was like there's a point in like 2020 where that commercial for some reason was just the one they were deciding to play over and over again. Yeah, it was just like weird. It was so weird. I was just like, I haven't gotten an email like this in so long, and I'm a senior, so I don't know why I'm getting this email. It was quite odd. Oh, for real? Yeah, that one. That's the one. They really loved that one in 2020. I just remember being so thrown off by it for sure. And the the Grubhub ad. Oh my gosh, hello! How are you, Jimmy? This art is very much going to be trust the process. Because this reference I chose is actually really it's kind of hard, but I'm determined to figure it out. For this study, I'm determined to figure it out. Challenges are good. Well, I'm glad to hear. I'm good too. I during my break, I was in kind of like an artistic slump ish thing, like besides working on my layout. So I'm trying to get back into the groove of things. But I'm doing good. I kind of like rainy days, so I think the rainy day is giving me a boost to my mood. I feel that. I don't like lightning. So I guess I don't like storms that much, but I'm okay with rain. Like when everything's just like getting wet, it's okay. But I don't like all the thunder and lightning that much. But there's something about rain, like in the morning, like being able to step out and just kind of like feel the rain. That's pretty peaceful to me and always has been. Oh no. Yeah, no, that sounds scary when you can't tell when it's that big. Yeah, evening strolls are peaceful. But just like any time, the times of day and the weather like situations that just make everything seem very like quiet and still are forever my favorites. So like evening or really early morning, like 5 a.m. and stuff like that is just so peaceful to me. And I think that's why I like rain, just because most people don't like to stand outside in the rain. So when it is raining, it's a bit less busy outside, and I like that. Bro, is it Miles Morales? You are. That's what that means. Evening strolls. Honestly, yeah. I feel like standing outside in a storm, it does make you feel like some type of like superhero plotting your next move. Oh yeah, that explains it. That explains it. There was an earthquake? Honestly, I think I remember that. That was a long time ago though. Okay. So I have the basic form. I'll go with this one for now and see if I can clean it up some. If I have trouble, I'll just move on to a different one. But I'm gonna try with this one. Give some space. And to entertain myself, I'm turning it into my OC. Oh yeah, I get you. Yeah, I definitely deal with that revenge bedtime procrastination sometimes. Ugh, that's always the worst. It definitely gets worse during school for me at least. And to be honest, I'm mostly an early bird. More often than not, I'm an early bird rather than a night owl. I tend to go to bed kind of early when I can. During school, I feel like everything shifts just because of more homework and whatever. But when I can, I go to bed early and wake up early. Most days I wake up at like 8. Yeah, 6. I don't know if I could wake up uh willingly at 6. I definitely have had to for work and for classes, but when I have a choice, I would not do that. Oh, nice. That's smart. Yeah, when I was really into Cookie Run, when I would get up early for like classes and play, uh, I would just be playing with people from overseas, and it would just make it so hard because they would just be so good, and I'd just be like, why? try to make this look like not weird. I feel that, like, honestly, when I do stay up late, because I need that alone time that, it's hard to get sometimes during the day when everyone's moving around or expecting, you know, you to be around. And Cookie Run, honestly, I think it's really fun. It's very simple. It's just like a side scrolling like runner game. Uh but it has like a rank system and everything like that. My favorite part when I was really into it, because I'm not as into it right now, but when I was really into it, my favorite part is definitely the character designs. Like the character design team is so impressive. Like all the characters are so fun and cute, and they each have their own unique abilities that make the, like, when you play the rank system again, when a new character comes out, it's a whole different ball game, just because the character's new ability makes it a whole different like experience every time. So it's definitely fun and definitely very interesting, and it's still going very strong. They update like pretty frequently, different seasons and everything. Not quite like those. I think closer to Jetpack Joyride, if I remember correctly. Like it's completely sideways and it's 2D. Um, but in my opinion, it's very interesting just because the things that you're looking to collect and your general objectives are always a bit different every time you play. So that kind of adds a lot of interest to it, in my opinion. Honestly, that happens to me sometimes though. About kind of going backwards, the creativity peaking late at night. Sometimes it happens, like I'll start a drawing like late, and if I'm really feeling the drawing, I'll just let myself work on it till I get sleepy. When I was younger, I really was like early bird, in the sense where I just hated sleeping though. So oftentimes in my childhood, I was the first one up in my whole house. As I got older, that kind of changed. Like I don't like wake up at the crack of dawn anymore. But that's mainly my memories from when I was younger, like being the first up and being asked why I'm up. Right, exactly. Yeah, exactly, to both of those. Like if I have a good idea and I'm like really feeling it, I have to run with that feeling, because especially like if I'm busy, like that doesn't always happen. So when it does, I can't just like be like, "Oh, well, I'll go to bed and try in the morning," because it genuinely might not be there in the morning. So I cannot pass up that chance. Oh my gosh, that's a smart idea. I never thought about that, but that makes sense. So that even if they can't get to your computer right now, you at least have the sounds that you're picturing down. With art, I often find myself like if I can't draw at that second or for a while, but I don't want to lose an idea, I will often write it down, like well, not verbally, but like text describe the idea and put it in like my notes app or something, just so I don't lose it. Verbally. Oh, that guy. I ever so often I find myself just going back to his YouTube channel. He's just like he's so funny, but he's so creative, and I love his little like cartoon beatbox things he does. Minecraft Dungeon time. Maybe I'll keep the eye closed. It's been a while since I've drawn like humanoid characters too, so this is a good practice for that as well. All good. Yeah, you go into chill mode. Yes. Gamer mode. Alright, it's kind of coming together. It was really in a kind of ugly state, but I think I'm pulling through. hair needs to be a bit different. I like that. It's probably a bit more natural. The reference picture I'm using also has like a really cool shadow disposition, or what's the shadow placement. So that's why I think I want to render this one a little bit, just because I want to try to capture the cool shadow placement on it. Yes, I agree. Shadows are probably one of my favorite things to render, like add in nice harsh shadows to get everything started. And yes, Shadow the Hedgehog. Shadow, he's the coolest. Character usually has glasses, but I have to debate whether or not I want to add in the glasses this time. This song's a bit of a throwback. I like that hair a lot better. There we go. Finally found a way to place the horn that doesn't look weird. We're getting there, guys. We're warming up. Slowly but surely, I'm warming up. Yes, progress. This needs to be moved up, up a little bit. Alright, alright. I'm trying to go back to, in general, sometimes making like just small drawings like this. Um, because I'm lately, my brain art wise has been a lot more ambitious. You know, I want to do bigger projects and bigger pieces, which is good, and I'm still doing that. But I think to find just balance, so I'm not just constantly um doing stuff that's like so hard. Like I sometimes I think it's good for me to balance myself out with like smaller, just like simple drawings. Well, let me save this before I forget to save this. Right, yeah, I agree, guys. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm realizing. I'm realizing I'm glad I'm doing these big projects, but I need to get back into like balancing them out. Yeah, so like right, so that I keep motivation to be able to keep going on the bigger projects. So that's definitely one thing I'm gonna just try to keep in mind going forward. Oh, that's smart, Jimmy. Yeah, I think my the reason I got away from it is because I'm honestly not used to doing bigger projects. Like I just kind of started taking on bigger art projects probably like last year because I was only doing smaller stuff, and I think I just got away from the other side. But that's definitely a smart way to go about it, so that you can just keep pushing, but you have these little ideas that satisfy your need to kind of, um, just do something a little different, but it's small, so that you don't get distracted, from your bigger project. My plan with my art is just to fix, not fix, but get my mind right, you know, for when I graduate, like get my mind right of how I can work on art in a way that's sustainable for me. So that's just everything I've been doing, all the brainstorming is just trying to figure out a way, how can I make art in a sustainable way. Yeah. I just I'd rather do it now, when I'm in this like limbo of being in school still, than get out there and start working and realize I don't have those like methods and stuff that I need to keep myself all good. So I'd rather do it now. Do it now while I'm in this period of life that I'm in. Okay, okay. So I have to fix the hand here. I'm just very glad that I finally formed some good like routines with my art compared to how I would in the past. Like streaming, I mentioned before, but streaming has really helped my productivity. So I'm just very proud of myself that I got started with something like that that kind of keeps me drawing on a regular basis. Because obviously I love to draw, but I feel like I have a lot. Well, summer's just always so like almost overly busy for me. I think just because it's like this time where I'm home from school and uh just we just do a bunch of stuff. Um, so honestly, a lot of times it's like I feel the need to just veg out in my free time rather than do more stuff, but I do want to make more art. So having a routine that keeps me doing art throughout the summer has been very nice because it's just been nice knowing I'm creating with this extra time, and I've made so much more art than I have in just previous years because of it already. Oh yeah, yeah. I need to catch a stream. I haven't been able to catch one of your streams. Yeah, streaming is nice, though. I've really enjoyed it because this is the first time I've definitely done it regularly. But I enjoy it. It's nice to have like an audience and company to while you draw. And no, yeah, no, I feel that. It's either I have no energy, I can't, or I can't think of anything. But yeah, I definitely feel like this routine has kind of helped me work out of that. Start the process of working through that. Oh, that'd be cool. I love videos like that. Like where like it's just like a time lapse almost of them making their song or making their art. So I definitely think that could be cool too. Yeah. I know I feel that. That's okay. A no mic moment is all right. Yeah, I might do honestly I might do more no mic moments cuz I definitely have days where I'm just like, no, talking's not really going to happen. I watch a lot of art streamers who don't like talk. Um I'm there to just watch them make cool things. That's okay. Yes, time lapses are fun. They're sincerely one of the main things I watch like on YouTube. Just time lapses of different art projects. Oh my goodness. It's happening, it's happening. Comic is happening. Oh, that's so exciting. Well, if you do stream it, uh, and when I'm done streaming, I'll definitely hop on to see that because, and you should have never let me read that script. Now I'm just so excited all the time. Anytime you talk about or post about the comic, I'm just like, I know it all, and I want to see it. It's gonna be so epic because it already is epic. Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah, I was definitely so glad to help. I'm glad it happened at a time where I had like a day to do it because I'm very happy to help. Okay, this hand is still not perfect, but I'll fix it. I'll fix it, I promise. In post as I render. This is actually a pretty challenging reference, and I didn't realize it would be, but I think it's good practice. Good practice. At least it looks a bit better than how I did. The hand is like so weird. Image. Hmm. Let's see. Let's see. Might edit it just a little bit. Alright, slightly edited hand, but that I don't know. I have to look into. I have to do more hand studies to do that advanced hand that is on this reference because it's pretty. I don't know why he's a very artistically placed hand position that's a little complex. So I'm simplifying it for the sake of this one. So I would have to finish because I would have to definitely finish with it for a while, and I don't want the stream to just be me redrawing a hand over and over again. Okay. Cool. No, for real. It really is. It's like such a it's almost an awkward placement of a hand, but it's purely you can tell it's purely just for the photograph. But I will I'll attempt it one day, but that day is not today. Thank you all for being here, by the way, on this rainy day for my day back. I appreciate it. And I hope you guys are all doing well. Right. And the practice I also want to do for this one is to start with a grayscale, like start with values and kind of add in color from black and white, because that's a method. I'm speaking of time lapses. I've been watching a lot of time lapses of like League of Legends and other PvP games splash artists. If anyone doesn't know what a splash is, it's when like usually it's like a loading screen basically illustration of a character in an environment. And in the time lapses, a lot of them do a process where they start in black and white and then add color and go from there. But they start with black and white so they get this really nice grasp of the values that they want in their piece before they move on to color. And I want to try um doing that with my process a little bit, or just seeing how that would work out with my process, just because I'm curious how that might work out. I think it's a good idea. I like to simplify things and get a grasp on things before moving into color, because color can definitely complicate. Oh, I have paper on. It's kind of funny seeing my OC in such like a. It's like he's hugging himself. Like it's kind of like a calm, peaceful position. Because this OC is probably one of the ones who has the worst of it. Like his story. So it's kind of interesting. He's in such a peaceful pose for this one art piece. Yeah. I'll admit, like, not a lot of my OCs have a like tragic backstory, but he definitely is one who backstory's a little hard. His character arc's a little hard, but in my head, it does have a happy ending at least. All right, let's introduce some light. Honestly, most of my OCs, well, I wouldn't say most, but a lot of my OCs lately uh don't have much of a story, but this character happens to be the one who's from my more developed like head world, which I'm very, very, very surprised always that uh the characters in that head world stuck around so long because I'm not used to them sticking around so long. Because these characters are going on, this character and like the other characters from his head world are going on 3 years old. And they took a lot of different forms and everything like that, but 3 years is a long time for me personally to keep an OC. But I think honestly the reason they stayed is because they've gone through so many forms. So it allowed me to change them to better fit my current interests. But I'm very proud of how much they've developed, even if it is just in my head. 90% of it. Something a little less bright now. I was like, this sounds different. This song. Because it's the cover, not the real version. I don't know why that threw me off. I was like, why does this sound like different? In the reference, the shirt doesn't really have a lot of shading because he actually has like a black shirt on, but I'm just going to try to use the other shadows to make a little bit of shadow. Maybe not that dark. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm finally getting a grip. Rendering is where usually I get a bit more momentum. Like this part is usually where I get a little bit more. Start to get it. Playing with levels just a little bit. I'm sure I can find a workaround, but my issue, when I go to finally add color to this, is that this program doesn't have like a color blending mode. Like there's a blending mode that's just called color. It's on like Photoshop and stuff. That's really helpful for this, and it's on Procreate as well. But for some reason, this program does not have it. So I'll have to just scroll through the blending modes until I find one that's like closest to it. Cause like overlay, overlay, I think will probably be the closest to it. Um, Probably that'll probably be what I go with. I think it'll work out. It'll be fine. Yeah, like I really want to. This program I've been using for so long, so I don't want to. But I think at some point soon I'll probably have to graduate, from this program and start really learning another one. It was really nice and good, but it does have a lot of. There's a lot of things it doesn't have that other programs have that is kind of like necessary or very, very, very useful. So it's always a pitfall when it doesn't have it. So eventually, I've got to branch out a bit, it seems. All right, so now I'm at a point with the value study where I want to I'll start rendering it. But first, before we get too far, I'm going to take a break because I always forget to take a break at the halfway point. So, yay, I will be right back. I'm going to choose a song to put on repeat. And as always, my breaks are kind of short, just about 7 minutes. And I'll be back to continue. Yes, breaks are good. And I always feel it like if I don't take a break. So that's why I'm trying to make sure. Make sure I don't forget to take a break. Really into these vibes lately. Alright. Well, I'll be back in about 7 minutes. See you guys soon. Okay, I have returned. I figure out why my little PNG tuber decides to disappear sometimes. But I'm back. So, let me get the music back going. And I want to try to do some rendering. And hopefully I'll get to color by the time I'm all done streaming today, but even if not, it's alright. We'll just get as far as we can. Man, it's such a struggle. I don't know what I feel like listening to. I guess I'll put on this one. Yes. Yeah. Man, I just really like Jungle. Yeah, and Break. Yeah. That's funny. I put on Break during my break. Yeah, Jungle. I don't know. When I discovered like the name for it, I was so excited because it was really a type of music that was present in a lot of like PlayStation games. So it's something that was always quite nostalgic for me. So when I finally found out that there's a name for it, and now I can look it up, I was so excited. So excited. Okay, ready to go. Just was making sure everything looked normal. That's one thing I've been trying to do lately, like to find more specific terms to describe the things I like with music and with art. Because honestly, it makes it so much easier when I can like verbally say, okay, I like this. I like when art does this specific thing, or like in music when it's this specific thing, because then I can find more of it for inspiration and everything. Oh, nice. That's cool. Yeah, it definitely is inspiring when you find like that specific genre and being able to like just listen to it. It makes your mind start going. Right. Right, exactly. Exactly, Jimmy. That phrasing is not very helpful for like Google and research. But no, that was definitely me until I started to try to actually find out like, okay, no, what is this actually called? There's like a weird, not weird, but like a kind of different genre of music I've been kind of into lately, and I still don't know the name of it yet. But it's primarily based in like sound making. So like, and like, well, I just realized that's just kind of all music. But like, let me see. Specifically, it's like, for example, this artist, they went around and used like wooden drumsticks and just kind of banged on a bunch of like things with the drumsticks. And then they use those sounds in the song, and the song is not that melodic. There's just a lot of focus on just the sounds. And I found that that style of music has been very like kind of peaceful to me, I guess, because it's not a lot going on that my brain has to grasp to. It's just like kind of taking in the sound. So I have to still discover what that type is called. Worst case, I could just try to comment and ask the artist because they're just like a small artist on YouTube that I've been listening to and see what they say. But I've been really into that lately. Oh, it definitely might be. It could be. I mean, I'll look that up and see if that matches. I trust you. I trust your knowledge of music, so it definitely could be. Trying to focus more on shapes when I'm uh filling in everything too. There's an artist I really like, and part of how they do it is probably with specific brushes too. But like all of their work has a very like angular feeling when it's all done. Like when you zoom in, it's like a lot of little like squares and everything like that. The type of music composition that utilizes recorded sounds as raw material. Sounds are often modified through the application of audio signal processing and tape music techniques can assemble. Oh, okay. Well, honestly, that sounds pretty accurate to what it is. So yeah, it most likely is probably that. Thank you. I'll look into that because that'll probably help me find more music like it. This song is definitely an old one. Because I feel like I've been listening to a lot more variety of music too, because like I'm doing that class on music, and I haven't been able to sit down and spend time with it for a while, but um, I've lately been trying to just figure out like what type of music do I want to make, which I think the best thing for me to do is I'll just make music and kind of see what I gravitate towards. But I've just been kind of taking in and exploring just all the music that there is to make out there. So far, I there's one, man, it just left my brain. There's a genre called digital something. I don't know why it just left my brain. But that one really interests me. It honestly reminds me of most video game music, how it sounds. Just kind of playing with more like instruments versus with digital instruments, like it's kind of a fusion. Oh, I think that's what it's called. I think it's called digital fusion because that's exactly what it is. It's like um, hand like instruments you can hold combined with digital instruments like synths and stuff. Um, I really do like that genre that I've come across a lot. And I think that's the main one I love to explore. I like jungle. I've really been enjoying that too. And then yeah, that new genre I just came across with it's using raw sound. I like that too. So I think those all give me good jumping off points to explore. Okay, I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind as I go. Yeah, I really like digital fusion. I don't know. I think it really is just because it reminds me, honestly, of most video game music, which I do like. But some people get just super creative with it. After stream, if I can try to think of some of my favorite digital fusion artists I found and send them to you if you would like. But the hardest part I think about learning music is just like I've focused on art for so long, so it's hard to be a beginner again in that sense. Like I know very little. Like I'm slowly learning more, but I know next to like nothing. And I haven't started making my first song yet and everything like that. So being a total beginner again is it's hard. It's hard, but I really want to learn this skill, so I'm willing to do it. Oh yes, if send that to me, whatever it is that you think might help. Any help, any honestly, anything you have that you think could help me, just don't be afraid to just send it. Because as I said, I trust your musical knowledge and I'm learning a new skill, so all the help, all the help will help. And okay, yeah, make sure I send that to you. Because in my journey since I discovered what it's actually called, I found quite a good handful of ones I really really like. Make it a little bit brighter under here. Actually, because the way I'm trying to deal with because I feel like the biggest issue like with me having not learned like a new skill in a while is that my brain already, which I think is what most people deal with, where my brain already wants me to be like professional and like making everything. So the approach I'm trying to take so that I don't think that way, I'm trying to go into making it, making things like making my first song with no expectations, like just let myself gravitate toward. I feel like have my inspirations, but not like force myself too heavily with them right now. Like just have them there, but let myself just make something and finish it. And then from there, I can start, tweaking my style and everything like that. But I just need to get through making my first one, kind of rip the bandage off, per se, and then go from there. Oh, yeah. I've definitely thought about that. Like, when I get a bit more comfortable with it, I would definitely be down to collab. Yeah, when I start to get more comfortable. That it definitely sounds very fun to do that. And I think that'll also be interesting because I have no idea what the process looks behind a music like collaboration. Like for art, I know, but not for music. Oh, my puppy is visiting me. Hello, puppy. Oh, okay. That makes sense. And you just, cause just kind of, you have your idea and you just kind of bounce it back and forth. makes sense too. Yeah, the voice chat so that you guys can kind of hear what you each are thinking. I will be. I'll be right back real quick because I think my dog came down here because he needs to go outside. You can hear him. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you guys for your patience. Yeah, usually the usually some of the other family members help with the dog, but uh currently they're not here, so the dog is my responsibility at the moment while I stream. But I think he should be okay now. He just likes to he's a um he really likes our backyard, so for most of the day he honestly prefers not to be inside and prefers to just sit outside. We bought him like a little outdoor like cot and he likes to just lay on it all day instead of be inside. But it is rainy and he doesn't really like rain. but hopefully he sits tight for like a little bit. Oh, nice. Yes, Minecraft time. For real. And yes, he's a very interesting dog, but he's very cute to me sometimes. He's very smart too. It's one thing I'm grateful for. He's very smart and very good at like communicating what he needs. So that's very helpful. Really do like how this is turning out though. At first it really did, in my opinion, it was going through an ugly phase, just the rust, man, but I think it came back around. And I do like it. I just really like how peaceful the character looks here. Yes, very calming. I really love to draw my OCs. I gotta do it more often because once again, my biggest issue. Well, it's not even really an issue, but it's just something I want to try to do less. Is I have a habit of with a lot of plans and also art pieces. Is I imagine them, but I don't like do them. I spent a lot of time imagining them, but I want to actually do more stuff and get in a habit of doing more stuff rather than just picturing it. Oh yeah, nice. Yeah, I remember those. Character themes definitely seem fun for the same reason you can kind of try to capture the personality of the character in the song. One thing I noticed that's kind of frustrating is like when I brainstorm for my drawings and whatever, Pinterest is one thing that I use like a lot. But it is the art side of it is slowly getting overrun by AI. And it's so annoying because I have to literally sort through the AI to get like good references. Why is my program freezing? That's not. Oh, I'm on the. I'm not even on my paintbrush. That's fine. I was like, why? Oh yeah, right. Yeah, it's just becoming so like rampant. I wish people would just at the very least, just like tag. If you use AI, just like tag that it's AI art so that everyone knows that it is. Because the unfortunate part of it is getting like more advanced. So to a point, some stuff I can still obviously tell, but some stuff I really have to look at it before I can tell. And it's one of those things where I don't know if the people who are really into it are gonna just like give it up for now. So at the very least, just tag so I can avoid you, so that I can just like avoid, AI art. Hmm. Sorry, just have to respond real quick. That message. Yeah, basically that's just how I feel about it. I think it's definitely good to speak up about it, but I think the best way we can combat uh like AI art and whatnot is just by ignoring it. Like not giving it the attention that it wants. Like just finding ways to avoid interacting with people who make it and everything. Don't interact with media that makes it, that uses it. Right, give me 1 second. Once again, my like as I predicted, my dog does not like the rain. So I'll be right back one more time. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry about that. That should hopefully be the last one. Because now He's hanging out, like he went and laid down, so hopefully he's chill for the rest of the stream. But yes, poor doggo. He always and he knows he doesn't like the rain, but he still wants to go outside. But then he wants to come in like immediately. So, but now he's all curled up on his bed. So hopefully he just chills there for now. This artist Divio, I think if I'm pronouncing it correctly, uh, their music is really good. Like really, has an interesting sound as well. Oh, I kind of like that ear. I don't know why. I like how it kind of tilts out like that. Oh my gosh, this playlist, I don't know, it's just playing all these songs that I used to listen to so much when I was younger. And I haven't heard in so long. I need to keep using my reference. I keep looking away from it for too long. Let me find a really good image of a ram that might be helpful for shading the horns. Honestly, same. Those are always very fun choices. I like fangs, I like claws. I like sharp, sharp, sharp. I've never heard this full song. Exactly. Yeah, in reality, I don't care for sharp either. And even in the way like I present myself, I don't feel like I present myself with anything sharp going on. But when I make my characters, I will always lean towards claws and sharp, sharp. Oh no, yeah. I feel that though. Sometimes, especially near the middle of the school year, when things are getting busy, I just be putting on whatever because it gets into survival mode at a certain point of the school year. No, yeah. No, I totally get that. It's a lot. Bro. A program trying to change layouts on me. Don't change layouts. Might give it some more ridges. There we go. I'm gonna change music once again. Because sometimes it slips into just like a random radio. Hmm. I'll try this one. Yeah. And sometimes I'm okay with it, but sometimes I don't vibe with the radio. But honestly, 90% of the songs that I have on my like actual like catered playlist is from just like the radio after a playlist. 'Cause it'll be playing sometimes, and I'm like, actually, I dig all of this. So then I just add it all to my playlist. I feel like it's a good way to find new music, and that's nice, at least. Oh my god, that's so cute! A penguin companion. I love that. That's so funny. I love that. Yeah, honestly, yeah, that tool and watching other art streams is how I found a lot of the music that I have on like my playlists. Might be biased, but I do feel like um, artists have good music tastes. So when I tune into other artists streaming, I find a lot of new music most of the time. Most likely on Friday when I stream, I'll probably just keep working on this, to be honest. Just see it to a finished point. Speaking of like switching programs, I am not rushing it, but I am excited for this upcoming semester because I'll have a class in Photoshop, and Adobe is Adobe, but the program of Photoshop seems like it might be the one that has enough similarities to this program where I can get a grasp on it, and it's also like an industry standard program. So I think if I did have to switch, it probably would be to Photoshop or a Photoshop adjacent program. So I'm excited to learn that program just to see. I I've always seen Photoshop as an like a photo editing software, so I'm excited to explore it from a artist perspective. Also, I'm trying to use less outlines in my art and focus more on value to bring stuff forward. Oh, what's happening? The program is having a moment. Oh, hello! I didn't even see you came in. Sorry. Angel, welcome to the stream. I'm doing good. Just drawing. It was raining earlier, but I think it's cleared up a little bit. But just having a nice little cozy drawing session because I didn't draw a lot last week, so I'm making sure to just warming up with some OC drawing. But yes, welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, no, that's amazing. All I said. Yeah, I'm taking raster next semester, and I'm excited just to see Photoshop from a artist perspective instead of like a photo perspective. Oh my gosh, yeah! So hopefully we'll be in the same. Well, that I think that means we'll have to be in the same class. So that'll be epic. I have not tried Blender. It because it is intimidating to me, but I want to take a new look at it after I took a class on ZBrush, which is another 3D program. So now that I've looked at that program, I want to try it again because maybe it'll be a little less intimidating now that I've done a different 3D software. That's what I'm hoping. Because I want to do more digital stuff, but my like the program we used for my class was ZBrush, and that is not free. And I know eventually my license that I got through the class will run out, so I want to try to learn a free software. But yeah, Blender is just it's so much more like the UI I guess, is so much more complex than other programs. So I'll really have to dig into it and see if I can wrap my head around it now. But oh my gosh, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I might need help hopefully in the class. So that's good to know that you are experienced in it, Jimmy. Because I've never used Photoshop for drawing. Yes, for sure. That's honestly why I've stuck with this program for so long. Like it's going on like 12 years I've been using this program in particular. Just because learning new programs is a doozy more often than not. But I think especially like the new like rendering style I've taken on where I kind of just kind of painting over everything will be more fitting for like Photoshop has a lot of nice texture brushes. Like I follow a lot of concept artists uh and illustration artists who use Photoshop, and one thing that I see a lot of them take advantage of is the amount of like texture brushes and things like that that you can do with use with Photoshop. So I'm looking forward to that, like learning how to add new brushes and stuff too, so I can explore that. So that's one thing I've gotten a taste of now that I also have Procreate, is that I can download all these new brushes, and that's been really fun to do and see how they can help my workflow or add like new things to my pieces. Yes, this is Paint Tool Sai. And I'm actually still in version 1. Oops. I just never had any desire to switch to Sai 2. But yeah, I'm in Sai 1. Best thing I've made. I have to think about that too. Yeah, there's a lot that that I've made so far that I'm proud of. I think art wise, uh, honestly, some of my more recent digital paintings I've made, I'm really happy with. Uh, Here, I'll pull up a couple because there's two in particular that come to mind that I've been happy with. So, like just when I think of like art pieces that I want to show to people to say like, okay, this is my standard of my work right now that come to mind. Here, I'll pull them out. This this is a smaller. I think it's still readable. Yeah, this one that I did of my characters is one I'm still pretty happy with. I did it over like winter break this past year. I'm really happy with this one just because this was the first time I decided to take a whole piece with the new rendering style I'm doing right now, where I like paint over everything basically, and I'm really happy with it still. And it was a nice thing to kind of set the standard. Thank you guys. And oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you like the new overlay. Yeah, I just wanted something like lighter, more happier, I guess. Yeah, this one is one that comes to mind. But I'm kind of in a similar boat where it's kind of hard for me to choose to pinpoint one. But as far as the direction that my art is going right now, this one I think is my pick. And there's one more I'm pulling it up Because for my illustration class, we had to do like a product design of some sort. And I decided to try to make like cans like for a fake like energy slash sleep drink. And I was actually really happy with how these turned out. So I'm going to see if I can open them up. Yeah, so here was the one. There's one that's supposed to be like the night drink, a sleep aid. And then here was the energy drink nocturnal. I was really proud of these just because I'd never done like a mock up. And for these, I drew the like animals in Psy again, and then I put all the text on with Illustrator. But I was just really happy, and then I edited all together on Photoshop. But I was just really happy with how those turned out because I had never done something like that. Oh, but yeah, yeah, Jimmy, your comics. I definitely love all the stuff you come up with for your comics. Yeah, that one for illustration, I remember that. That was really good. Yeah, like that was my idea just because it was all like about night. So I was like, how about have both? Because it's for people who like to stay up or people who like to recharge. And I just had a lot. I just remember having a lot of fun with brainstorming that project and then finishing it. So I think those are the couple that I think about most. Yeah, thank you guys. I'm glad you guys like my work too. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you're epic, epic, epic. I feel like I was also really I was pretty pleased with the stuff I made for ZBrush too, the 3D class. Um, I think I was happy with it because it was my first time ever touching 3D product, 3D media. So I was just proud of myself for what I made, just having never touched a 3D application before. And it was also kind of refreshing to do a whole use a medium that I just had zero experience in as well. But yeah, I feel like I'm in a transitional place with my art, like where I'm just now kind of reaching a point where I'm making art that aligns with what I would like my art to be. Um, for me, that's really exciting, just because I know that the stuff I'll make anytime going forward, it's in that kind of sweet spot of what I want to make. But I definitely feel like I've just been hitting that in these past 2 semesters, kind of. But it's been exciting. I'm excited for what's to come with these semesters going forward. Or my last couple of semesters, crying. But I hope to make these last semesters really good ones. I want to make really good work. My goal. Right, yeah, like I love that too. I think that I used to be very hard on myself. Like when my art that I'd make wouldn't be where I want, but I feel like as I got older, it's nice to be able to look back and say, okay, I finally got a grasp on that concept, or I can tell I'm finally getting it, growing into my style and stuff like that. Right, exactly. being able to see how much you grow, I think, is especially helpful when, like, for me, sometimes like I get in periods of time where I'm just like not happy with my art, but being able to look back and see, okay, I've come so far, it usually helps me out of that kind of funk and that mindset because I there's physical evidence that I did in fact improve. Oh, nice. I really love like learning the parallels kind of like my personal visual arts process and like things about like music. Like that's so interesting that there's a lot of it seems like at times there's a lot of overlap in that way. In the creative cycles at least. That's really cool. Right. Exactly. I definitely feels like it helps you get more confidence because you just realize that you are developing kind of a sure-footedness that you maybe didn't have at first. That with each new project, you're gaining that. For real. Like doing art like when I was even younger, like I would be so amazed or because one thing I used to do a lot when I was younger, I was a DeviantArt kid, so I used to spend a lot of time on DeviantArt. And there's this meme or like template that would go around every year, and like near in end of December, that would pop up where you fill in the template by filling in a piece of art you made each month of the year. So it's a very visual kind of representation of how much you've improved um, throughout the year. And I was always, I just remember being so surprised at how different my art was that January, looking at how it was when I was making the template. It's kind of crazy, just like if you do continue to make stuff, you will just improve just naturally. If you're making stuff. And that's what's always been kind of cool to me about having like a projects and doing things. It's just like you can actually have a physical representation of how much you've changed over the year. Because one thing with art that's always interesting too is like I can see even my interests change as I go too, as the things I like to draw change and everything. Right, I agree with that too. I feel like when I was, when you just when I was just starting with art, it did feel like my progress wasn't super drastic, but when I really started to get it, it started to happen really fast. And I think even now it's like it's not as fast as it once was, but I see it in a lot of like little, or it's fast, but it's not as drastic as it once was because I'm not like I don't flip flop between like drastic styles and everything like that anymore, but I see it in a bunch of little things like, oh, now I have a more of a grasp on anatomy. Now I have more of a grasp on like color theory. Like I just see it in like little things, I guess. When I look back. One thing I've noticed in myself too is I used to avoid things that made me like scared to conquer with art. Like I would avoid backgrounds, avoiding certain poses, but now I don't avoid anymore. So my art, I feel like, has become a little bit more dynamic as time has passed, just because now I don't avoid concepts that seem just harder to do. I like that. Right. That's a good way to describe it actually. Yeah, like I'm in that I feel like that's where I'm at right now with my art. Currently I'm just in a kind of like a touch up phase. Like I'm changing little things, but I'm not changing like big things. Right, like I feel like when you start changing little things, that's also how when you start to see like yourself developing a style just because it is like little things that are changing. But yeah, no, I get that, Angel. Like I go through phases with my art where sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to like do everything differently. But lately, I feel like I usually just try to take a break when that happens because I feel like that stems usually from you want to improve a bunch of things at once, but then it equates to that. But yeah, that can definitely be tiring when you're in that phase. I've been there. I use less lines, so I'm gonna try to get rid of some of these lines. Thin them out, at least. Okay, well, thank you for stopping by. Have good food. Lately, I've been watching a lot of like art YouTubers, and I feel like art content creators have to be taken in like a little bit at a time. Because for me, at least, I get kind of overwhelmed with knowledge if I watch like too much. But I've been watching more, but it's been having like a positive effect just because I've been watching more catered, I guess. Specifically, I've been watching people who are talking about topics that I want to expand on right now. So it's been less overwhelming, I think, because I've been keeping that in mind. But I've been watching a lot on like building forms and using value. So that's I'm trying to put a lot of that the knowledge I've been digesting into this little exercise here. That's so honestly real though. Like sometimes I watch those videos, but honestly I've learned a lot of little things just from random conversations or like scrolling through like TikTok, and there's one TikTok that gives like this tip or like uh prompt like thing to think about that just like changes how I see everything all of a sudden. Yeah, sometimes I just get in a mood though where I'm craving that sort of long form just like art knowledge, so I'll watch it, but I do have to be in a very particular mood or I just get overwhelmed. I really like watching time lapses though, because honestly, I feel like I learned so much just from a time lapse too. Just from like without any talking, just like watching an artist do their thing. I feel like teaches me a lot too. Okay. Think I'm going to call it for today because I'm over my usual the time I set for myself. But I figured we were all having fun. Um and this was my first stream back, so I'd go a little bit longer, but I think I'm gonna call it for now. But yeah, thank you guys for coming. I was so happy to see so many familiar faces come in for my day back. It made me very happy that you all got to see my new layout and everything and hang out. Um, I'm glad you had fun. I'm glad you guys had fun. That makes me very happy. Yeah, and I'll be back on Friday, 12:30, same time. And I honestly, unless something else like pops in my brain, I'll probably just continue working on this and finish this up. Because I am liking how it's turning out now. So thank you guys. The only thing I did not have time to update is my ending soon screen, so it's still the old one. I just put my little squiggle bear there though. But yes, thank you guys for stopping by. I really appreciated all the support. I did miss streaming, so it's nice to be back. And I will see you guys on Friday. Have a nice day.